Your progress toward success begins with a fundamental question: where are you going? Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement, and its lack is the stumbling block for 98 out of every 100 people simply because they never really define their goals and start toward them. Study every person you can think of who has achieved lasting success, and you will find that each one has had a definite major purpose. Each had a plan for reaching that goal, and each devoted the greatest part of his or her thoughts and efforts to that end. Andrew Carnegie was the man who led me to formulate my definite major purpose, assembling and publicizing the principles by which great individuals achieve enduring success. Carnegie started work as a laborer in a steel mill. Because of his definite major purpose to make and market better quality steel than anyone else, he became one of the wealthiest men in the country and was able to endow libraries in small towns all across America. His definite major goal was more than a wish. It was a burning desire. Only by finding your own burning desire will you achieve success. The difference between a wish and a burning desire is crucial. Everyone wants the better things in life: money, fame, respect. But most people never go beyond just wishing for them. If you know what you want from life, if you are determined to get it to the point that it becomes an obsession, and you back that obsession with continuous effort and sound planning, then you have awakened and developed definiteness of purpose. Once you learn how to harness the tremendous potential of your mind and how to organize the knowledge you already have, you can turn them into the power necessary for attaining your definite major purpose. There is a proverb which says, "If you would plant for days, plant flowers. If you would plant for years, plant trees. If you would plant for eternity, plant ideas." As Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "One single idea may have greater weight than the labor of all the men, animals, and engines for a century." Put ideas and your definiteness of purpose to work. Definiteness of purpose develops self-reliance, personal initiative, imagination, enthusiasm, self-discipline, and concentrated effort. All these are required for success. Throughout this book, you will learn in greater detail just what these qualities entail and how they are acquired, developed, and incorporated into your plan for success. Definiteness of purpose also brings a host of other advantages. Definiteness of purpose encourages you to specialize, and specialization leads to perfection. Your success in life will depend a great deal on your ability to know much about a specific area and to perform exceptionally within it. General education is important because by pursuing it, you will discover your basic aptitudes and desires. Once you have discerned them, however, you should immediately begin to acquire specialized knowledge in your major interest. Definiteness of purpose will act as a magnet to attract to you the specialized knowledge necessary for success. Once you have determined your definite major purpose, you will begin to budget your time and your money and all your day-to-day endeavors so that they will lead to the attainment of your major purpose. Time budgeting always pays dividends because each moment is made to progress toward your goal. Money is also used to its best advantage, ensuring that you pass the mileposts along the road to success. Definiteness of purpose makes you aware of opportunities related to your major purpose, and it inspires the courage to act on them. Edward Bach was an immigrant to this country who set out to make his living by writing. He began a flourishing business writing short biographies which employed 6 people. One evening at the theater, he noticed that the programs were large and cumbersome, poorly printed and unattractive. On the spot, he conceived the idea of producing a smaller program, easier to hold, better looking, and including appealing reading matter. The next morning, he prepared a sample copy of his proposed program and presented it to the theater manager. Not only would he provide the theater with a better program, but he would do it free in exchange for the exclusive rights. Advertising would pay his costs and bring him profit. The theater agreed, and Bach went into partnership with a friend more experienced than he in publishing and advertising. They quickly signed up all the other theaters in town to avoid competition. The business thrived and eventually expanded to create several other magazines, while Bach became the editor of the Ladies' Home Journal. If you can see an opportunity as quickly as you can see the faults of others, you will soon succeed. Successful people make decisions quickly, as soon as all the facts are available, and firmly. Unsuccessful people make make decisions slowly and they change them often. Remember that 98 out of 100 people never make up their mind about their major purpose in life. They simply can't make a decision and stick to it. How can you overcome the habit of avoiding decisions? Start with the very next problem you face and make a decision. Make any decision. Any decision is better than none. You make some mistakes at first. Take courage. Your batting average will improve. Knowing what you want will help in decision making, of course, because you can always judge whether or not it will contribute to your goals. Definiteness of purpose develops confidence in your own integrity and character, which attracts favorable attention from others and inspires their cooperation. Those 98 folks who can't determine their major goal will be inspired by one who can. And those few who, like you, have embarked on their journey will recognize and want to aid a fellow traveler. The greatest benefit of definiteness of purpose is that it opens your mind to the quality known as faith. It makes your mind positive and frees it from the limitations of doubt, discouragement, indecision, and procrastination. These limitations are some of the greatest roadblocks you will face. Later chapters will specifically address overcoming them, but possessing faith in yourself and in the fact that the universe is constructed to allow you to achieve your greatest potential will help you starting now. Closely related to faith is success consciousness. Your mind becomes sold on success and refuses to accept the possibility of failure. A young man lived in Salt Lake City many years ago. He was industrious, thrifty, and much admired. Then he did something which convinced his friends he had taken leave of his senses. He withdrew all his money from the bank, went to an automobile show in New York, and returned with a new car. Worse, as soon as he got home, he put that car in his garage, jacked it up, and proceeded to take it apart, piece by piece. After examining every piece, he put the car back together again. The folks who were watching him thought he was just plain wacky. They were further convinced he was mad when he began the process again, and again and again. That man was Walter P. Chrysler, whose innovations revolutionized the automobile industry. There aren't any major corporations or skyscrapers named for his Salt Lake City neighbors who lacked the insight to see the method in his madness. They lacked a definiteness of purpose. Make sure you do not fall into this lack yourself and have a definiteness and purpose.